back to our 5-day Well and Happy Reset. We are on day 3. If you've been here for the 3 days already, if you've turned up for a third time, yay to you. It's an important practice. When we talk about regulating our bodies, calming our minds, it is a habit that we have to direct. Yeah. When you were a child, were you optimistic or pessimistic? I remember talking to my next door neighbour. She was older and wiser and a very optimistic person. She could see the good in the world and she expected it. I was young and I was pessimistic. I think I'd grown up in a world of pain. Or maybe it was just me. Maybe it was just my mindset. So I have worked at redesigning my thinking. And this is what brings me to, create this Well and Happy page. I'm very academically focused. I love learning. And I've always kept it separate from my mindset work. And yet the two are one. Teaching and learning is all about mindset. It's all about creating the environment within our head and within our body so that we can move forward with grace and ease. Today's lesson is all about ease. We've looked at our values because our values underpin what makes us feel alive in life. And it's really important to feel alive in life. So we need to recognize what they are and cultivate them. We plant the seeds, but we've got to go and water the garden. Day 2 was vision and our inner compass. So balancing our past with our future in the present. And I think this was a really important lesson yesterday. It's a really important practice for adults especially, to let our imaginations go, to get creative. We all have this creative part of us. When I was teaching children, we used to talk about what type of learner they were. Were they good in nature? Were they could they listen and learn? Or were they a doer, a kinesthetic? Or did they have to read, But what I've learned over time, and maybe it's because I've grown and as an adult, we are all parts of that. We don't fit into a box, and children don't either. And we all have a little bit of creativity, whether we've been given the permission to explore it, and permission by others or permission by ourselves. It doesn't matter, it's permission. But we all have this creative part of us, so we all can imagine, and we should be using our imagination to create a mindful future or a future mindfully. And then today is all about ease and energy. It's a holding day where we're holding space. Teresa? We're holding space for what can come. This awareness is actually a form of action. So let's look at the language that you're sharing with your mind in yourself. Do you ever take a day off? Do you ever just kick back and put your shoes up, put your feet up? I think it's really important that we embrace these days and we look at our values and we look at hope. Hope is one of humanity's greatest strengths, and yet I believe that we're underusing it. In uncertain times, which life is uncertain because we don't have a mapped plan. There is always change, there is always upheaval. But hope gives us this inner strength, doesn't it? There were some studies done years ago in times of war. And the communities banded together and they had hope for a better future. Their happiness scales were quite high, even though the world was blowing each other up. So they call hope a cognitive survival skill. It's a mechanism of the brain. Pop you on silent. I don't know.
Sorry.
No, that's all right. It's good to have you here. You might have to put yourself on mute. I can't figure out how to do it at the moment. But yeah, so hope is something really powerful, but it's something that we underuse. Hope helps us dream and then gives us the steps. It's the agency that we create. And that agency, that power that we have within ourselves, creates a pathway to change. And we're kind of in control. It becomes a protective mechanism. It's a protective role that helps us plan and act and emotionally regulate and sustain that momentum and that motion. So it leads to our persistence, and that reinforces our agency. It's a cycle. Have you heard about the monks that are walking across America at the moment for peace? You know, it's hope that is sustaining them. They're not talking, they're not engaging. There's no posters, there's no placards or songs. They're just walking in silence. I think it's 240 miles, 2,400 miles. It's making an impact on the local communities. Their calm and their presence is drawing crowds. And now they've got a little support dog, which is really resonating with people as well. And I think it's resonating with people because our modern life is so overstimulating. We're overworked, we're underrested, and the calm feels rare. It's deeply appealing. And science actually shows us too that humans regulate better with simplicity, with compassion, with mindfulness, with fewer things. It really is, this walk, it really is an embodiment in motion of peace. So I think the key messages with the Buddhist walking is that peace isn't something to wait for. It's something that we walk towards in small, kind steps every day. It's pausing before we're reacting. And it's reminding us, the monks are reminding us that, you know, it's not something we have to go and learn. It's just being kind to ourselves, giving us a pause, taking a breath before we say the next thing. It's walking without your phone. It's choosing kindness. It's breathing deep instead of spiraling. It's letting simple be enough. Joy and peace for me are practices, not performances, and they coexist in prosperity. When we can calm our mind, experience joy and peace, and practice these, then we live richer lives. So I'm wondering, where can you slow down in your life? Where can you build compassion to yourself? Where can you help others, include yourself, in feeling safer, less alone, and more willing to choose gentleness over urgency? Can you commit to a daily practice? Can you feel it in your body when you are dysregulated, and can you act on that? Just take a moment now and forget the outside world, forget the noise in the background, the people that want a little bit of it. Put your phone on silent. I'll make sure mine is. And let's just pause for peace in our own life. So I invite you to, once again, feel grounded. What I do is to be conscious of my surroundings. Are my feet flat on the floor? I feel the chair and my body. Open my palms and rest them in my lap. I only have one lap. I invite you to breathe in for 4 breaths, hold your breath for 4 breaths, and breathe out for 4 breaths. Hold your breath for 4 breaths, and then breathe in again for 4 breaths. This helps regulate your body. It's a technique I've used in EDs when people have been hurt and harmed. So let's welcome peace into our world with ease. Yeah. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. You don't have to wait for the world around us to be right. We don't have to wait for the world to be regulated. Breathe in calm. Breathe out calm. Imagine you are a Buddhist monk walking across America. Imagine you have the mindfulness to just walk in a line, following the one in front. It's not long before you don't notice the one in front. And it's just you with your hope, with your dreams, taking actionable steps. What does your body feel like? What does calm emotion feel like in your body? Keep walking. Rest when you need to. Hold space for this energy. Know that this practice is building your cognitive survival mechanism. Your brain is protecting you. Your thoughts are simple. Your compassion is big. You balance ease in your energy. When you're ready, I invite you back. Come back and rest. Take a breath in and take a breath out. I invite you to open your arms out wide. Contract the muscles on the left side of your mouth and then the right side of your mouth. And then put your hands in prayer position at your heart. Bow your head and say thank you. And so it is. How was that for you? It's a quick and simple trick to regulate our brain, our mind, and ease our energy. So we're still maintaining our energy. We're just calming our energy. We have agency in our world. We have agency in our body. And when we choose calmness, choose kindness, choose love for others and for ourselves, this is when we get to experience joy. It's not in the external world, it comes from inside. All done. Thanks, Teresa. Guys, thank you for joining me. I think community is really important, especially when we're talking about collective hope, because it's easier to be in a community where we are hopeful. And we know that hope helps us dream, and dream gives us an actionable plan. It builds our agency, our power in our world. So I've got a quote I wanted to finish on, and it was, "The way we do anything can reflect the way we do everything." And if we're mindful about how we show up, what we value, how we balance our past and our future in the present, we can imagine forward. And when we can imagine forward with ease and with energy, yeah, what a world we've got to dream about. Thank you for showing up today. Thank you for the pauses and knowing that the pauses can be messy. Thank you for understanding that forgetting is normal and knowing that noticing is enough. Now, there is some reflections for you in your workbook if you choose to go through it. Learning doesn't require urgency. Change does not require force. And sometimes this work just unfolds on its own. So you can use the workbook and go back to it anytime. So let's close the lesson with a breath in. Invite stillness. And then let the day begin. Sending you big love. Thank you for joining me.